Hosted by you/thrower15628. So, my ex-boyfriend, 26M, and I, 22F, were dating for about 3 years until I found out I was pregnant. That's when he decided, things are moving too fast, I don't want this anymore. To make a long story short, he ended up kicking me out of our apartment. I moved in with my mom, blocked him on everything, and started contemplating termination. I was thinking to myself, why bring a child into a broken home, you know? Why would I want my firstborn to have a father who never wanted them? But when it came time to go through with it, I just couldn't. I don't know why, I can't explain the feeling I had, but I decided to keep it. This all happened in May. However, on June 11th, I miscarried. I don't want to get into the details of the miscarriage, but I had an ectopic pregnancy. When this happened, I did consider calling my ex to let him know, but I was afraid of his response because I knew it would be something like, bullet well dodged, so I just didn't. My thought process was, he didn't want it anyway, why would he care? I stayed with my goddess of a mom, and she helped me through everything because she's had miscarriages as well and knew exactly what I was feeling. I love her so much. Fast forward to 2 days ago, I got a call from an unknown number, but I didn't pick it up. It called 2 more times and then stopped. I didn't think it was him, but I never pick up unknown calls. Last night, the number texted me, "Hey, it's XBF's name, can we talk?" I didn't text back, and this morning, he showed up at my mom's house when I wasn't there. I texted him back and said, "Yeah, we can talk, but don't just show up at my mom's house, call or text before you do." We set up a meeting, and when I arrived, he had a gift bag. This is the convo summed up to the best of my ability. He started by saying, "Wow, you look great, you don't even look pregnant." I replied, "I'm not anymore." Confused, he asked, "What the F do you mean you're not pregnant? Did you terminate without telling me?" I responded, "No, I miscarried." His tone shifted as he said, "And you didn't think to tell me?" I shot back, "Why would you care?" He replied, "Because that was my effing kid too." I reminded him, "You didn't want it." He snapped, "I do, that's why I came to see you, but whatever, F you." He left me with the gift bag, and it was full of baby stuff. I felt really bad. I'm assuming he told his mother because she called, going off on me about how terrible I must be for hiding this. She also insinuated that I'm lying and actually terminated the baby, which just rubbed salt in the wound. I'm hesitant to tell my mom because, Lord knows, she'll fight that woman for talking to me like that, and I don't want any extra drama. But I do feel bad because having a baby is a big deal, and not everyone is ready for it right away, so my thoughts are all over the place. Does anyone here have any opinions? Was I wrong, or was I valid in how I felt? Commenter. He kicked his pregnant girlfriend out and ended the relationship. You later had a miscarriage, and I suppose he would have found out regardless when the 9 months were up and there was no child. I don't think you were wrong for not telling him. Based on your story alone, and acknowledging that a lot more probably happened behind the scenes, I can't blame you for wanting him out of your life. I think you should tell your mom, better it comes from you than through a second-hand source or another surprise visit. Update 2 days later. Thank you so much to everyone who gave advice, good or bad, it helped me balance how I was feeling, and it meant a lot. I also took almost all of the advice I received. Starting with my mom, I told her about the phone call I received from my ex's mom, who, for the sake of clarity, I'll just call Sarah, and I showed her the post. I did ask my mom not to say anything back, but in her words, it's best not to bow down to people like Sarah. When you let them get away with talking crazy once, they're going to do it again. I really didn't want to talk to Sarah or my ex, so I just let my mom handle it. I know it's childish to have my mom fight my battles, but I can't take any more stress right now. My mom understood and texted Sarah. This is the message, sorry if it's hard to read. I had to try and take out or change the names. Hi Sarah, this is Op's mom. I was just made aware that you called my daughter, accused her of lying, and implied she secretly had a termination. First, let me say that this situation is none of your business, and as a mother, you should know better than to slander a woman who has just lost her child. You, of all people, should be the last person calling others evil, considering the son you raised. Were you aware that when Op found out she was pregnant, your son decided 3 years was too soon for commitment and told her to leave their apartment? Or do you just not care? We don't owe you an explanation about Op's pregnancy, but I will give you the courtesy of sending those hospital reports. However, if you continue to disrespect us after that, my son and I will be seeing you and yours, I can promise you that. I thought this message would be the end of it because hours went by without any word. They couldn't reach me since I blocked them, but my mom was waiting for a reply. Then, once again, my ex showed up unannounced, this time with his mom, which really pissed my mom off, rightfully so. Sarah claimed they just wanted to have an adult conversation, but my mom told them to leave and come back later because we were busy. This was a lie. She wanted to wait until my brother got home, just in case. When they returned, surprisingly, Sarah made my ex apologize. Apparently, she had been told a very different story. According to him, when we found out I was pregnant, he was really excited, and I was the one who didn't want the baby. He claimed that when he told me termination wasn't an option, I flipped out, left the apartment, and blocked him on everything. He said I contacted him months later, asking to meet, which made him think I had a change of heart, hence why he bought the baby clothes to celebrate. The emphasis on termination in his version of the story is why Sarah believed I was lying about the miscarriage. I couldn't help but chuckle because what a liar that man is. This must have triggered something in Sarah because she started up again, saying, "But I still feel you owe my son an apology because you pretended like you were pregnant, knowing it died. You could have at least told him, but you led him on." I had to emphasize died because she said it with such a condescending tone, putting so much emphasis on that word, it pissed me off. But I didn't say anything. I just went to my room. I'm not sure what happened after that because I heard everyone yelling, but I just tried to drown it out. I can't lie, I cried myself to sleep. Sorry to those hoping for a big confrontation, but this is where we are right now. I wish the rumble had happened too. She really needs the dentures knocked out of her mouth, but I just want to move on now. There's no reasoning with those people. On a good note, I found a women's shelter to donate the baby items to, and I'm probably going to look for a therapist. Again, thank you to everyone who gave me tips on coping or advice on what to do. I didn't expect more than 10 people to see this, so thanks to everyone who validated how I felt. It's great to know you're not the insane one.